Alright, so on the last video, we said that the angle that we just found with C was 21 degrees. So we got to fill that part in. We filled in 21 for angle C. So that means here we've done angle C. So now we have angle A and side A to work on. And so here, let's find angle A first. Because if we found B and C, we can find angle A quickly. So here we know again A plus B plus C equals 180. So once we do that part, we can go ahead and fill in what we know for angle B, which is 115, and angle C, which is 21. 21. Alright, so we filled that in. And all we have to do now is add and subtract from 180. So if we add these two together, we get, we add these two together, 21 plus 115 should give you 136. That everybody got? 136. 5 and 1 is 6. 1 and 2 is 3. And then another one front. Alright, so then we subtract 136 from both sides. And what do we get? Let's see, so that's like 44 degrees. And then make sure again, let me just go and subtract that really quick like. Yep, 44 degrees. So that is angle A. Okay. So angle A is done. So the only thing that's left over is side A. And here, again, we're going to use our law of sines because we can't use SOHCAHTOA. So we're going to find side A. A. And again, the best thing to do is take what was given to you at the very beginning. So at the very beginning, they gave you B and B. And then now we can do A and A. So that's what we're going to do with. B was given to us at the very beginning, both B's. And we're going to find A, side A. Okay, so filling it in again. So we fill in. So side B, angle B, is 115. Side B is 3. Angle A is what we just found, which is 44. And side A we don't know. And as you guys can notice, it is very important that you stay focused on where you are and what you're doing, and that your information ahead of time, or the information from early in the problem, must be correct to make sure everything else is correct. So in other words, if you mess up on one thing, it's going to throw you off on the next thing. So everything's going to be wrong after that. Okay, so here, we filled everything in, we're cross multiplying. Again, here that's A sine 115, and then that's 3 sine 44. Okay, so for this one, do we do an inverse for this because we're just because we just did inverse before, or do we just go ahead and just solve this out by dividing by sine 115? We just solve it out by dividing by sine 115. And how do we know that? Because we're not dealing with an angle. If we're not dealing with trying to find an angle, all we're doing is trying to find a side right now. Again, if you're trying to find an angle, you do the inverse. If you're not trying to find an angle, you're trying to find a side, you don't do the inverse at all. So find an angle, you do the inverse. Find an angle, you do the inverse. If you're trying to find just the side, we just do like we've been doing the whole time. All right, so here, the sine 115 cancels out. We're left with just an A. And we have this fraction again. And again, we're going to put that in the calculator, make sure that we have everything, we put everything in correctly, and then we are really done with the problem. Ooh, come on. Move. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and put the fraction in. So alpha y equals, we put 3 sine 44, close our parenthesis, over sine 115. All right, so with that again, you put all it in, make sure it's in degree mode, and I'm sure here we did that already, so it's in degree. We hit enter. Let me get about 2.299, blah, 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 blah. And the great thing about this here, we have one side that is actually a decimal number, 1 decimal point. That side over here, that's a whole number. So with this one, what I want you to do is go ahead and make it a decimal number. With this one, because it has two different things, if you make it a whole number, that's fine. If you make it a decimal number, that's fine. So I'm going to make it a decimal number. And so it's approximately 2.3. Approximately. This is not exact because we're rounding it. All right, and that's it. That's all that she wrote.